Hello, welcome. I hope the lighting is okay. I normally do these videos during the day, so I have the luxury of having the natural light coming through my windows. So you'll see it's a little more grainy, and I hope that's okay with you. And it's actually pretty late here, but I was sitting and journaling and I kept hearing this song by, I think it's Tina Turner, actually. What's love got to do with it? Who needs a heart when a heart can be broken? And it inspired me to pop on here and chat about love. And love is such a powerful force. And yet, to our human selves, love can be such a fragile, emotional experience. And from my own experience, I've had a lot of messy love. And I went on this journey to Egypt. It's been 4 years now, and I stood between the paws of the Sphinx on our first day of the journey, like the actual retreat. And I set the intention that I was there to learn about real love, probably because I've experienced so much messy love. Like, even my parents were divorced when I was super young, and just seeing relationship through a different lens in most of my experience. So, what is fascinating to me, and I won't get into like my spiritual experiences in Egypt, that might be for another time. But what is fascinating to me is like how we can set an intention and like something totally different shows up than what we might have, considered possible. And so when I came home from Egypt, I had this amazing job that I totally loved. And if I can say this humbly, that I was like really appreciated for my skill set. And it was probably the first job that I had that I was like, oh my gosh, this job was made for me. And yeah, it felt so invigorating to be able to show up in that way and do meaningful work. I was a mental health consultant then, if you're wondering. And I had already been a yoga teacher as well, like with my own business and doing like private healing sessions and some other stuff. I digress. When I came home from Egypt, I took a few days rest, and because there's a big time change and it's a long flight, and I thought it's a big journey. I didn't know how I would feel. So I took, I think it was like 4 days rest after I got home. And then I went back to work for a couple of days. And then it was the long weekend, Easter weekend here in Canada, the stat holidays, Good Friday, anyways. And I remember getting off early on the Thursday. We got this like secret email from my boss that said, you can finish at, I think it was 3 o'clock. And I went for a personal appointment in Waterloo. And as I was driving home from that appointment, I was stopped in the traffic. I mean, it was the Thursday before a long weekend. So there was a lot of cars on the highway. And I'm not usually in that area at that time. But I was stopped in the traffic and I looked down for a second. I don't know. I can't remember why. I drive standard. Um, anyways, I just remember like feeling my head swing up and hit my backrest and like immediately was like annoyed. Like, what the was that? And then it clicked. You just got like someone just hit you. So I looked in my rearview mirror and yeah, like some guy like totally rear-ended me and I didn't see it coming. I didn't expect it at all. And like he had tried to avoid me. He just hit like the edge of the back driver's side of my car with the front of his passenger's side of the car because there was a really small shoulder there. It was hard to get off the road or get out of the way when he did finally see me there. And the first words out of his mouth was, "I didn't even see you." And I was like super irritated. um, and a long story short, I ended up um, having a bleeding lung, and that was extremely painful as it healed. And then a few weeks later, I started to have symptoms of concussion. So my doctor suggested that I stay in a dark room for 3 months and literally do nothing, like no reading, no screen time, no talking on the phone, just be in quiet in the dark. Unfortunately, I don't have children and I live alone, so I was able to do that. I mean, my cat was like the only sound I really had in the house. And who would have thought that learning about love would invite you to spend 3 months with yourself? And not just 3 months with yourself, like 3 months of deep silence in the dark with yourself. And it has taken me 4 years to really appreciate what I went through and what that was teaching me, and how much more capable I am of loving myself fully without having the flattery from my job, without having the distractions of places to go and things to do and people to please and things to punch and kick, because I used to kickbox and box quite regularly. And I literally had to let go all the things that like brought me joy. Um, a lot of money went out of my bank account during this time because I was taking care of myself. And yeah, I had to learn how to take care of myself all over again. And a lot of people left my life, some of who I thought were like really good friends. Um, and so, was all of this a lesson in real love? I sense so, yes. And coming through the other side of it, I can say that even though this journey required me to let go of a ton of things, that I love myself more today than I did 4 years ago. And what is that worth? And this has been an epic journey of coming home to myself and learning about real love. So thank you for listening. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being you. If there's anything you want to share, as long as it's respectful, it's welcome. Please comment below. You can like this video if you feel alignment with it, and subscribe to the channel if you would like to receive more of this content. And I'm so grateful for all of this connection through our little community here in this channel. And I hope that you will join for another video soon. So much love. Mwah.